Okay, question 56 over here. One of the enzyme involved in the conversion of the sugar to ethanol. So answer is it should be invertase. It should be B also. Like two options are correct, A and B. Usually GSAT means only one single option correct. So here both A and B is correct over here. This is a reaction of the ether with the HI. Let's understand the mechanism. See, there is a compound they have given this way. This is oxygen. This is some structure is there, and this is reacting with the HI. HI is a strong acid. HI is a strong acid. Strong acid means what? It is a very good source of good source of it is good source of proton or a H plus. So what happens in the mechanism? This is a H plus and this is the electron rich. There are two lone pairs on this, right? This will attack here and you will get a protonated thing. Means over here the protonation of this ether will be done, and the protonation is this way. Oxygen, this is hydrogen and the positive charge over here, and the rest of the structure is as it is, right? So this is the rest of the structure. Now there is a positive charge on oxygen, means one bond we need to break. So there are two possibility. One can bond one possibility that this bond can be broken, or also this bond can be broken, right? So let's say this is A and this is B. We have to go via that process which gives a stable carbocation over here. So this is over here. If A breaks, then the carbocation will be formed here. And let's not write the alcohol part. And yeah, let's write the alcohol. This is the carbocation we are going to get. This is HO. This is connected here. This is what you are going to get. And the other product, if it breaks via B, this is A, and if it breaks via B, then you are going to have OH like this plus a carbocation will be formed here, right? So in which case the carbocation is more stable. Here we are getting a tertiary carbocation and here we are getting a primary carbocation, right? So tertiary is more stable. Then what will happen is that we got this reaction will go via B, because here we are getting tertiary. Then I minus will attack over here, and final product which we will be having is I over here. So my two main products what we will be having is this and this. So which is the answer? Option B is correct over here. Okay, this reaction over here, I'll just zoom this, hope it's visible. So they have marked one reaction. I'll write the reaction again over here. This is the reaction. This is the reaction, and the reagents over here are concentrated H2SO4 and concentrated HNO3, right? This reaction is like it is a electrophilic substitution. This reaction is electrophilic substitution. Substitution on benzene, right? So there is a directive influence when you try to substitute an electrophile on the benzene. There is a directive influence of this group. This is the group which is there, right? This is a methoxy group. There is a lone pair of electron on this, and this is a ortho para directing. This group which is connected over here, it will direct a incoming electrophile to ortho and para position. Now what are the ortho positions to this? Ortho positions to this is a NO2. Now what is the electrophile generated by combination of this H2SO4 and HNO3 will give me a electrophile NO2 plus, right? Where it will go? So over here this is a ortho position, and this is a para position, right? So this is the only reaction what we have to know, and the answer is option A for this. Since this group which is there over here, this is methoxy, which is ortho-para-diagonal. So answer is option A. So the number of the sp2 hybrid carbons atoms in phthalaaldehyde. Phthalaaldehyde means like something like a phthalic acid. Phthalaaldehyde means this is your benzene. In phthalic acid there is COOH like this. No? In phthalic acid, this is phthalic acid. It's best way to remember. This is phthalic acid. Phthalaaldehyde. Only these groups will be what? These groups will be COH. This is phthalaaldehyde, right? How many sp2 carbons are there? See, there is a, this is sp2 carbon, this is sp2 means how I identify based on double bonds over here. Here also there is a carbon oxygen double bond, this is also sp2, right? And this is also sp2. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? There are 8 sp2. This was a very simple question. Answer is C. Here this question is the correct reagent for the converting benzyl chloride to benzaldehyde. What is the benzyl chloride? This is what the benzyl chloride derived from the acid. This is a acid derivative, C double bond OCl, right? This is derived from the acid. And if you want to convert this to what, benzaldehyde, this is converted to the benzaldehyde, C double bond OH. Remember, this is a reduction reaction. This is a reduction reaction. Acid derivative is converted to what, aldehyde. Always remember this step. If it is a primary alcohol, you can remember this flowchart. Primary alcohol, if you do the oxidation, it gets converted to the aldehyde, and aldehyde, further oxidation if you do, then it will get converted to carboxylic acid, right? And if you go reverse, that is a reduction, if you do the reduction, then you will get aldehyde, and aldehyde's reduction if you do, then you will get a primary alcohol. Then if it is a secondary alcohol, and if you do the oxidation, you get a ketone. And if you reduce this, if you do the reduction of this, you will get a secondary alcohol. You can remember this small flowchart. Further oxidation, there is no oxidation product for the ketone. So this is the thing. So this is something which is a reduction. This is called as partial reduction. If we use the H2, palladium and barium sulfate, this is a partial reduction. This is known as Rosenmund reaction, right? Answer is option B. This is the reagent which is used. If you use zinc mercury, then it is a, you are going to get an ethyl benzene. This is Stephen's reaction. This is diabyl H. This is a reducing agent, but the correct answer is option B for this. Okay, this question is about the Itard reaction, question 61. Reaction of the chromyl chloride. Itard reaction means, Itard reaction is toluene. No, Itard reaction is this. You take a toluene, and react this with a chromyl chloride, CrO2, Cl2 in the cesium as a solvent, and further after hydrolysis, what you get is this. This is what the compound you are going to get for this, right? The fluorine, the para-fluorotoluene, like we start with this, doesn't going to affect anything. You are going to get a para, no, it is. So if this is there, it's not going to affect anything, means product formation. So here, this is the thing. So answer is option A. Okay, correct order of the boiling point of the following compound. See, the structure is methoxy, methane, propane, 1-ol and acetone. Let's understand this. Methoxy methane, CH3O, CH3. This is a methoxy methane. Propane 1-ol. Propane 1-ol is this. CH3, CH2, CH2OH. And the last is acetone. Acetone is this. CH3, C double bond O CH3. See, it depends upon the intermolecular forces. One which is having the higher intermolecular forces, that will be having the higher boiling point. Now let's understand what are the forces which are operating over here. Here the force which will be there, there is a partial charge separation, there is a negative, partial charge positive, because oxygen is there and this is the carbon. Here I'll discuss later, this is partial positive and this is partial negative. Now here there is a hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding is a strongest intermolecular force which holds the molecule together. And what is the condition for the hydrogen bonding? There should be an electronegative element and hydrogen should be connected to that electronegative element. So what we can say is that there is a charge separation is there, right, but there is a hydrogen bonding operating between this. There is a hydrogen bond, there is a hydrogen bond which is present over here in this molecule. Means these two molecules are there, then there will be a hydrogen between this hydrogen and this. So this is possible only when hydrogen and oxygen is there and hydrogen should be connected to electronegative. See, here also there is a hydrogen and oxygen, but hydrogen is not connected to electronegative element. Here also hydrogen is not connected directly to the electronegative element. So here the force which is operating is a hydrogen bonding force, hydrogen bond which is operating. Here it is just charge separation. So this is dipole, dipole, okay, dipole force or dipole forces, permanent dipole I mean. Okay, and here also it is a dipole forces. Means I am talking of with respect to two molecule, what force will be operating. It is dipole forces, right? So the strongest one is hydrogen, so that will have the strongest boiling, highest boiling point. So the option 2, that is propanol. Now among acetone and methoxyethane, in which case there will be a better charge separation, that will have higher dipole forces. So here there is a higher charge separation because double bonded oxygen, there is more electronegativity for that. So here this is the thing. After that it is 3 and the list will be of the one among this. So the answer is option B, 2, 3 and 1. So correct order of the rate of reaction of the following compound towards a methyl magnesium bromide. This is a Grignard reagent, RMGX. This is Grignard reagent, right? So whose reactivity will be better, right? That is the order of the reactivity they have asked. So first structure is propanol. Propanol structure, how it will look? Propanol structure will look this way: CH3, CH2, C double bond OH. This is propanol. Then acetophenone. Okay, acetophenone is this, C double bond O, CH3, and then there is a benzaldehyde. This is benzaldehyde, right? So electrophilic, this is a electron rich, methyl is a electron rich in that case. So here in which case there is a electron deficiency, like here this carbon is electron deficient, this carbon is electron deficient. Sorry, this is benzaldehyde, no, this should be a benzaldehyde. Yeah. And here also there is a partial positive charge. Now reactivity will be higher if that partial positive charge is more. Okay, we have to figure out in which case there is a better partial positive charge, right? Magnitude of the positive charge. So if you see over here, then structure 1, this is propanol, this is a structure 1, this is structure 2, and this is structure 3. In structure 1 there is just an inductive effect which is operating, right? This is just an inductive effect which is operating over here. Here it is a resonance effect which is operating. Here also there is a resonance, right? Here both, one is inductive and the resonance. So magnitude of the positive charge will be most in 1 because it is just an inductive effect, and the resonance always neutralizes to more extent, no? So one is having higher reactivity towards methyl magnesium bromide. If you compare between this and this, the resonance is common, and if you see the magnitude of the positive charge here, there is more neutralization of the negative charge because of this plus I effect. Here this is not a plus I effect, right? So there is no plus I effect to donate. Then it will be this will be more reactive. This magnitude of the positive charge between this and this, here it will be more because there is no group which will neutralize it, right? Here there is no group, so answer is 3, and the list is option 2. Rochelle salt. This is theory based question 64. Answer is B. Okay, sodium potassium tartrate is also called as Rochelle salt. Question number 65, theory based question. What is a compound that is obtained from the ant is formic acid? That is option C. So question number 66, the correct sequence of the reagent for effective conversion of the benzyl alcohol to phenyl ethanoic acid. See, the reaction is very simple. I'll tell you which are the reagents which we need to use. So I'll start from here. This is the phenyl. Sorry, this is benzyl alcohol. Benzyl alcohol is this CH2OH, right? If you react this with a HBr, means you are reacting this with a acid H plus. So what will happen? The attack of the electron rich to electron deficient is going to take place over here, and you get a protonated alcohol. You get a protonated alcohol over here. This is CH2OH, and here there is a H, and the positive charge. This bond breaks. This is the bond which is going to break because it is going to give you a stable carbocation. This is going to give you a stable carbocation. Then this is the carbocation which will be formed over here, CH2 plus. Then there is a potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide is a good source of a Cn minus. This will attack over here, and you will get the compound this way, right? You will get the compound this way, CH2 Cn. Remember, this is like further hydrolysis. If you do, I'll start from here. If you do the hydrolysis of this, what is the meaning of hydrolysis? Breaking of bonds using water. This is what the cyanide is. So hydrolysis means making using water to break the bonds. So this is OH minus, this will attack here, and this is H plus from the water. I'll just tell you the trick how this works. So here what you get is this CH2, this is CH, and this is double bond NH. Sorry, here it is OH. Here this is OH will come. One more time, OH minus and H plus, right? And further what you get is this C OH OH single bond NH2. One more time, OH minus and H plus. So this bond is going to break, so you get a product like this, CH2C. This is OH, this is OH, and this is OH plus NH3, right? But there are, see, there is, it is impossible to have a 2 OH group on a single carbon. Here there are 3. So what will happen? Dehydrate. This will lose water molecule to give a stability. So further what you get is this. This is CH2. This will change to double bonded O and OH plus water, plus water. This is ethanoic, phenyl ethanoic acid, right? So the answer is option A. Okay, 4-methyl acetophenone with alkaline KMnO4 followed by acidification gives this. So which of the product we are going to get? See, KMnO4 is the strongest oxidizing agent. It can oxidize a toluene, it can oxidize a ketone, it can oxidize aldehyde, anything to a carboxylic acid, right? So here, acetophenone, let's draw this. This is acetophenone and 4-methyl. This is first, second, third and fourth. This is 4-methyl. You are using a KMnO4, right? An alkaline medium. So what, and followed by acidification. After acidification, what you get is this will be oxidized. Even this will be oxidized to carboxylic acid, and this will be also oxidized to a carboxylic acid. So the compound what we are going to get a structure over here is this COOH, and this will be also COOH. This is known as terephthalic acid. Answer is option B for this. So 68, in toluene, acetic acid predominantly exists as what? See, toluene is a solvent over here. Toluene is a solvent, and acetic acid predominantly exists as what? It will exist as a, see, acetic acid is this CH3C double bond O OH. This is a structure in which there is a hydrogen bonding possible. There is a hydrogen bonding is there. Why? Hydrogen is there, oxygen is also there, means electronegative element is there. So the hydrogen bonding is there. So in this case, in toluene, this exists as a dimer. Dimer means two molecules will combine, link together by a hydrogen bond. So this is OH, this is double bonded O and CH3. So here the hydrogen bond will be, which will be existing. So this is the answer. So answer is option B, dimer through hydrogen bonding. Theory based question. Compound used for increasing blood pressure is adrenaline. Okay. Answer A is correct for this. Question number 70. A compound P on reaction with the bromine and NaOH gives propanamine. So P is what? So P is asked over here as let's see what is the answer. So there is a P which on reaction with a compound P on reaction with a bromine plus NaOH gives you a propanamine. Propanamine means CH3, CH2, CH2 and NH2. This is what a propanamine. Now what is the product P? See, this reaction name is a Hofmann bromamide degradation reaction. Okay, Hofmann bromamide degradation reaction means it is a amide. This should be amide. What is the amide? It should be this butanamide. CH2 C double bond O NH2. This should be a butanamide. So degradation, this is Hofmann bromamide degradation means this carbonyl is removed and you get this. So NH2 is directly connected to R group, right? In general reaction, if you see, then it is R C double bond O NH2. You do this Hofmann bromamide degradation Br2 and NaOH. What you get is RNH2. So answer should be, this should be a butanamide. So answer C is correct. Answer C is correct for this. Okay, question number 71. The product formed by a reaction of the aniline with the benzoyl chloride. See, this reaction is very simple. We'll do this by mechanism. Reaction of the aniline. What is aniline? Aniline is this benzene, and on the top there is NH2. And this is reacted with what? Benzoyl chloride. Benzoyl chloride is this C double bond O Cl. I'll show it on the other side. Show it here. C double bond OCl. So what is this? This is electron rich, right? This is the electron rich because it is having a lone pair of electron. Where it will attack? It will attack on a electron deficient. That this carbon is electron deficient. It will attack over here. The longest bond is going to break. This is the halide which is going to break. It is not going to break directly. There is a first pi bond is going to break, then it will back bond, and then Cl will go, right? So in this process, the compound what we are going to have is this. C double bond O. Here it is NH. There is hydrogen also, and this is a positive charge, and this is aniline, no? Further. So this is the compound. This will go to give stability to the hydrogen. The final product, what will be formed, is this C double bond O NH. So the answer is option A. Very simple. Question number 72. The alpha amino acid which is optically inactive. Optically inactive means there shouldn't be any chiral compound, chiral carbon on that. So amino acid general formula is this: carbon. Here there is NH2. Here there is carboxylic acid, and this is the R group, and this is the H. Right. So glycine is the first amino acid where R group is what? R group is H. So this is the structure of the glycine, COOH. And this is the hydrogen, and this is NH2. This is the only amino acid which is optically inactive. This is optically inactive. The reason is, what could be the reason why this is optically inactive? You can comment and tell me. I'll wait for the comments also. Answer is because there are two similar groups, that is hydrogen and hydrogen. These both are similar, so this is optically inactive glycine. The rest of the thing, proline, alanine, histidine, this R group will be something other than hydrogen, like methyl, ethyl, different kinds of groups. So this will be a chiral in the other case. So answer is option C over here. This question is structure based. Answer for this is 73. Answer will be B, that is 5-3- carbon atoms of the pentose sugar. So this question is also theory based. 74. Answer is D, thymine. Base which is absent in RNA is thymine. Okay, questions over here. Question number 75. Among the following compound that will produce reddish brown precipitate on treatment with a Fehling reagent. Reddish brown precipitate means Fehling test is positive. Okay, that is what it means. So Fehling test is for the detection of the aldehyde. It will be positive only for the aldehyde. See, acetone is a ketone. Benzophenone is a ketone, propionophenone is a ketone. So this test is negative for all these things, and answer is true for cinnamaaldehyde. This is a aldehyde, so this test will be positive for this aldehyde. The answer is question number 75. 75B will be the correct answer. So this is where I end with solving a previous year, that is 2022 paper of the GSET. Thank you.